Welcome to the Pennsylvania Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. My name is Jasmine. I'm going to serve as your facilitator for our session today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first, you can use that Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any point throughout our session today. Second, your camera and microphone are off, so we cannot see or hear you. Third, this is just one of many different sessions that we're offering, so feel free to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, this session will be recorded and you'll have access to that recording within about a week or so. With that said, I want to go ahead and introduce our first presenter, the University of South Carolina.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first session tonight. My name is Allie Warwick. I am the Regional Admissions Representative for the University of South Carolina. I cover all of Eastern Pennsylvania. So if you're from anywhere in that area, I'm your rep. And hopefully we can chat a little bit about all the wonderful things that we have to offer as an institution. So just to, just to kind of cover some of the basics, we are a state flagship institution in the state capital of Columbia, South Carolina. We have over 100 different majors for you to study, and that includes undecided. So if you have no idea what you want to go into, that's perfectly fine. That's one of the perks of going to a large school like South Carolina. You have a lot of opportunities to explore many different areas of interest, no matter where they would lie. So to talk a little bit about where we're located, we are located right there in the city of Columbia, South Carolina. If you're unfamiliar with the state's geography, we are right smack dab in the center of the state. And when I say capital city, I'm not talking about a city like Philadelphia, like New York, like Washington, D.C. It's a much more comfortable, southern, slow-paced city. So you're not going to be walking from your residence hall to your academic building and passing a bunch of skyscrapers and men and women in business suits, right? It's a lot more comfortable, and we have a really true campus feel, but everything that the amenities of the city of Columbia would have to offer truly at your fingertips. Walking distance, there's restaurants, dining options, off campus, of course, record stores, cafes, any kind of thing you'd want to do in a bunch of different districts of the downtown area, which is really, really awesome. Also, if you're an outdoors person, there's actually a river that runs pretty much straight through campus. That's a really big, frequent spot for students to head out to on the weekends to hang out, go for a walk, go for a run. And there's always a lot of dogs down there going for walks with their people. So if you're a dog person, it's a great place to go. Also, just to touch on academics a little bit, we have, like I said, over 100 different majors for y'all to choose from. And students can come in undeclared as well. So like I said, if you have some interest that lies in the College of Engineering, but you're also really passionate about social work, you can explore both of those different options at the University of South Carolina in many different ways. And also, one of my favorite things about being at a large school like South Carolina is that you're never put into a box of, you're a biology major, for example, but you also have access to participating in tons of other things, whether it's academic related or not. So just to also talk about some of our nationally ranked programs, we are very well known for our Moore School of Business. So if you're looking at any of the business degrees and looking to go to the Southeast, we truly are one of the best. Specifically, our international business program has been ranked #1 for the last 22 years consecutively, which we are very, very proud about. We also have the nation's #1 honors college for a public university, and we've held that ranking actually since 2012. Again, something that we're super proud of, that really prioritizes that small classroom environment, very discussion-based material, and you get to know your professors and your peers very, very well in the honors college as well. So just to touch here on some of our different academic colleges and schools, we do have all of these different areas. And again, over 100 different majors. If you combine majors and minors, you actually have over 300 options for things that you can study, different combinations for your academic path. So learning beyond the classroom is going to be another huge piece of your experience as a Gamecock. Most students do earn at least one internship by the time they graduate. In fact, the majority of our majors actually require at least one internship by the time they graduate. However, we do know research shows for college students that internships are what makes a difference when it comes to applying for graduate schools, getting jobs right out of graduation, really even before you walk across that stage. So definitely something for y'all to keep in mind as you're looking at college moving forward. What are their internship opportunities like? We also have quite a large study abroad population, obviously not for this past year or so, but moving forward, we are very eager to get our students back out there and experiencing the globe, whether it's a service project or research project or just taking classes at another host institution somewhere on the other side of the world, which is really, really cool opportunity for students to take advantage of. We have 500 student organizations at USC. And like I said, you're not put into a box. So you can really, do whatever you want, whether it's Greek life or student government, or if you want to be in a book club or be a student leader on our campus, there's absolutely no limits really to what you can do. And also, yes, that is our pool right there on campus in our gym. You can see here a freshman profile, so what we're looking for when we go to read our applications from our students. You'll see the GPA range is on a 5.0 scale. We do recalculate those GPAs coming into us. And also keep in mind that you are seeing SAT and ACT scores on there. We have not made any decisions yet moving forward for if we will maintain that test optional policy that we took on last year due to the pandemic. Those conversations are still being had, so TBD on that one. But this is the profile that we're looking at for admission. Here are the requirements that we need for y'all to submit on your application. Really, the biggest thing to keep in mind here is the application platforms that we have. We are on the Coalition application, the Common application, and right there on our website. And then the application fee is $65, or you can use one of those valid fee waivers. These are the classes that we need for you to have completed by the time you graduate from high school. So as you go to plan out your schedule for your senior year, maybe your junior year, if you're a sophomore tuning in, make sure that you have these knocked out by the time you finish your high school career. These are also some deadlines for us to go over. These are not slated to change. So no matter if you're applying this fall or the fall after that, these are the deadlines that you can pay attention to. The best thing to remind yourself is that our early action non-binding deadline is October 15th. Students who apply by this deadline are guaranteed to hear back in mid-December, and they're not committed to South Carolina if they get admitted. That would be early decision. We do not have one of those. This is simply early action, so you can hear sooner about your decision from the University of South Carolina. And then lastly, I did want to give you guys a couple of links for how to connect with us and how to stay in touch with us at the University of South Carolina. We are offering in-person tours right now. If you're comfortable coming down and seeing us in person, perhaps this summer, we would love to have you. Otherwise, if you can't get down there to campus, I know it's a bit of a ways away. So please feel free to take part in one of our virtual tours that we do intend on continuing to host throughout next year in terms of accessibility. It's just a great way for out-of-state students to learn more about the university. And this is my contact information. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all about USC becoming a Gamecock. I am more than happy to help. And with that, thank y'all so much for your time tonight. And as always, go Gamecocks.
All right, so tough act to follow there with the University of South Carolina, but I'm going to try my best on that one. I think that everybody should be able to see my screen on that. But my name is Douglas Ulrich. I am one of the senior assistant directors at Ursinus College. As you can see there, we do like to make it clear of how to pronounce the name, but it is Ursinus College. So we're located about 25 miles northwest of the great city of Philadelphia. It's about a 45-minute to an hour drive, depending on traffic. But let's jump a little bit more into, who Ursinus is. So we're a bit of a smaller institution here. We have about 1,500 students here at Ursinus College, and we are one of 44 colleges that change lives, or the CTCL, as it may be better known as. To kind of catch everybody up to speed on what the CTCL is. Think of all the colleges that are on the East Coast, right? There are a lot of big name schools that students think that that's where I need to go to. That's the school that I need to attend in order to be successful. Well, the CTCL kind of went along and discovered at the time about 38 different colleges across the country that transform students as much as these big name colleges. So that was back in the early 2000s. We've been in every iteration and every edition of the CTCL book ever since then. So it's a pretty proud distinction to have. And a big reason for that is because of that transformation going along with our academics. We are one of the institutions that are proud to say that we are part of the Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society. Only about 10% of colleges among or in the nation are able to have that distinction. So many of our students are coming to Ursinus based off of that. And we're going to jump around a little bit here, but you'll see in that middle column that our top 5 majors have been biology, applied economics / business, health and exercise physiology, psychology, and media and communication studies. But you'll notice right next to that, we do have over 60 areas of study. So many of our students know the academics coming in here and they want to participate in that. So about 80% of our students are going to either double major or attach a minor to their major program of study. So here at Ursinus, being a top 100 liberal arts institution, we really want you guys to explore all of your different passions and turn those passions into professions. And we'll touch on that in a little bit, but again, we really want you guys to explore everything that you can possibly do here. Naturally, when looking at college, there is an aspect of financial aid, there's an aspect of affordability. So I always like to point out early on that about 99% of our students will receive some sort of aid when they apply to Ursinus. With that, the scholarships will range between $21,000 to $40,000 per year. And then there are 13 what we call specialty scholarships that you can apply for that will range between $4,000 to $10,000 per year that can be stacked on top of that merit-based aid. Being that we are 25 miles away from Philadelphia, a lot of students ask, well, is it a commuter college? Is it a suitcase school? You guys will see that 94% of our students do live on campus. So there's always something going on. There's always somebody here. So it is nice to say that we certainly are not a commuter college. Going on to the academics, we talked about the one of 44 colleges that changed lives. We talked about the Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society. When we kind of capitalize on that, it's through our curriculum. So you'll see down at the bottom, we have something that's called the Ursinus Quest or the CIE. We call that the Common Intellectual Experience. So we asked you guys these 4 questions of what should matter to me, how should we live together, how can we understand the world, and what will I do? They're pretty big questions, right? We don't anticipate on anybody having the answers to that right away. But what we want you guys to do is start to think, right? Because everybody has different views, everybody has different beliefs, everybody has a different background. But at the end of the day, we all need to come together to kind of find these common solutions to pretty complex problems. So that's something that we kind of embedded in our students from day one in freshman year. But of course, there's much more to Ursinus than just academics. There's a lot of different things that you can do here. So first and foremost, we do have a lot of spirit here at Ursinus. We are the Ursinus Bears, and you will see a lot of UC on the chest, or you'll see a lot of bears on the chest here of Ursinus students just kind of, wearing the gear and showcasing that pride. But we do have 25 NCAA Division III varsity athletic teams. We do compete in the Centennial Conference. So in a nutshell, we are very academically and athletically gifted. We like to compete on and off the field and in and out of the classroom. But moving along from athletics, there's over 100 clubs and activities here, whether that's Greek life, whether that's musical groups, mock trial, outdoor clubs. There's a little bit of something for everybody here. We do sit on 170 acres, so there's a lot of open space for kind of just authentic or just real things to kind of happen, whether it's yoga on the front lawn or ultimate frisbee on the front lawn, or just something that has been set up from our student activities office. So we talked about the activities, we talked about the academics. What about when we bring that all together? Well, it does lead to about an 87% retention rate. So students are coming here and they're staying here. It's something to look at, closely when you guys are looking at colleges. How many students are staying on campus past freshman year? So we are exceeding the national average in that. And then also students, once they graduate, are very, very successful. So about 94% of our students are obtaining a job within their career field or working in some sort of service field, or they are enrolled in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. And the way that we kind of bring that all together, I know that University of South Carolina had just mentioned the importance of internships and that kind of experiential learning, is that we have a project or a program that's called the XLP, the Experiential Learning Program. So 100% of our students will have the opportunity to participate in the XLP. It's kind of a requirement for us. We want to make sure that you guys have that hands-on experience before you graduate. And you can do it in a variety of ways. So it could be an internship, research, civic engagement, a community-based project, a creative project, student teaching, or study abroad. So most of our students are going to do 2 or 3 of those projects before they graduate. because again, we want to make sure that you're not just understanding the theory, but putting the theory into practice. PhillyX, being that we are so close to Philadelphia, we do give students the opportunity to kind of study domestic, we call it. So it gives the students the opportunity to live in Philadelphia, experience the big city, and then go out and explore after that. So to be cognizant of time, I'm going to pass this off to Marcus at Concord, but I'll put my information in the chat box below if you guys would like any more information about Ursinus College.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Doug. I appreciate it. All right. And for some reason, having trouble locating my PowerPoint that I just pulled up. I'll get that shared for you. So my name is Marcus Murrell. I'm an admission counselor for Concord University, located in Athens, West Virginia. If you did not know, West Virginia is indeed the best Virginia. Concord University is located in the very southern, most southern county inside the state of West Virginia. We are about 10 minutes from the Virginia border and an hour and a half from the North Carolina border and the very southern tip. So Concord University is a public liberal arts college. We were founded in 1872 as a teaching school. Since then, we have actually expanded. Now we have over 60 undergraduate programs of study, 4 graduate degree programs, and also a second location at the Irma Bird Center in Beckley, West Virginia. Our admission requirements, as a state school, we go by our state admission requirements. Our minimum GPA for acceptance is a 2.0. When it comes to the ACT or SAT, we are currently test optional due to the coronavirus. However, our minimum requirement for the SAT is a 950. Minimum requirement for the ACT is an 18. Also, with a 2.5 in your core classes, you are eligible for full admission. But with a 3.0 or above, you also be eligible for full admission as well as some partial merit scholarship, which I'll talk a little bit more about. Concord, over 110 of our full-time faculty. We also, 73% of our faculty hold their highest obtainable degree. So most of the people inside the classrooms, you're going to refer to as doctor inside the lecture. However, our average classroom size is about 14 students. So all of your professors will actually know you by your name. We do take pride in being able to offer the private feeling education for more of a public cost. And all of our classes are taught by our distinguished faculty as well. Also at Concord, we have multiple performing arts programs. So we have everything from musical theater, marching band, symphonic band, jazz ensemble, vocal ensembles, and a dance team. As you can see in the picture, there's our radio station. We do have a radio station on campus, as well as also a television station, which is a part of our multimedia production programs. Concord, we also have many different student activities. We have over 50 student clubs and organizations. Everything that includes Greek life, scholarship programs, faith-based organizations, multicultural organizations, political organizations, and more. Another reason why many people seek out West Virginia is because of the outdoor recreation. Here at Concord, we're about 20 minutes from Winter Place Ski Resort. We're also about 7 miles from Pipestone State Park, which is one of the top-rated state parks inside the state of West Virginia. So if you're someone who loves the outdoors, you'll have plenty of opportunities for outdoor recreation right near our campus. Also, right adjacent to our campus is many of different hiking trails, mountain biking trails, places for people who enjoy going fishing, and we even have an outdoors club which goes on an annual hunting trip each and every year. At Concord, we are NCAA Division II school. We have 16 athletic teams. As a Division II school, athletic scholarship is available. Most of it is talent-based. And also, we added a 17 sport last year, which is our esports program. Our esports team, our men's Call of Duty team actually won the test 4x4 national tournament. And last year, we're national runner-ups in the college Call of Duty tournament. We're hopeful to make a run in the National Call of Duty tournament this year as well. Also, aside from Call of Duty, the other games we have are Overwatch, League of Legends, Rocket League, and we're also adding Super Smash Brothers. Merit scholarship, or not merit scholarship, I'm sorry, esports scholarship is available as well. So if you are a video gamer and you put in and you put your time and hard work into video games, you can also earn some scholarship to help make your education just a little bit more affordable. When it comes to our campus life, over 700 students live on our campus. We have 6 residence halls on our campus. Some of the housing options are academic, organizational, and substance free. All students can park on our campus. That also does include freshmen. And inside of our residence halls, there's also places for recreation, social, study, and television rooms. We do offer on-campus dining. We have a cafeteria on our campus, as well as also Starbucks. Of course, when you're in college, all of our students, faculty, and staff do need their coffee. Also have Subway if you want to eat fresh, and we do have a wingspan as well. And those are some of our meal plan options. There are also some local options inside the town of Athens, but most of our options are about 4 miles from our campus inside the city of Princeton. When it comes to public safety, it is a top priority at our campus. We are known to be one of the most safe colleges inside the state of West Virginia. All of our campus police officers are trained by our West Virginia State Police Academy. So they do have arresting powers. I've never tested it out. And if you come to visit our campus, I wouldn't advise you to do it either. But that's just because we want to make sure that all of our students are in a safe place where they can learn and grow. As I spoke a little bit about our merit scholarships before, they do begin at a 3.0 GPA. Also, if you take the ACT or SAT, it is a way to increase your merit scholarship awards. Higher you score on your ACT or SAT, the more money and scholarship you can receive. That even goes up to full tuition, room, and board. So even as an out-of-state student, you can qualify for full scholarship. The Bonner Scholars Program, we also have some more scholarship opportunities as well in exchange for your community service. So last but not least, please follow us on social media. Here's my contact information. I'll also leave it for you in the chat bar, but thank you so much for your time and thanks for joining us tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Samantha Reve, and I'm one of the assistant directors at Slippery Rock University. I am also a graduate of Slippery Rock University, so I'm always excited to share Slippery Rock University with other students and get to kind of talk about why I think Slippery Rock is just so wonderful. But Slippery Rock University is a public institution. We are part of PACAC, your PACAC schools, your Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education. We are considered a mid-sized university of a total enrollment of just over 8,800 students with an undergraduate population of about 7,500. Our average class size is 25 students, with about 80% of your classes going to be in that 25 to 30 student range. If you're in a lecture halls are not made to sit more than 75, and on average, a lot of my classes were maybe anywhere from 60 to 70 students. So you have that opportunity to get to interact with your professors as well as your classmates and really build on those relationships. We are about an hour north of Pittsburgh and about an hour south of Erie. So kind of in that mid-range on the western side of the state of Pennsylvania. And something that makes Slippery Rock University so homey and welcoming is our community. So the community is only about 3,000 people, but when the university is in session, the town grows to about 10,000 people. So it really does give you that community feel. It's also more of that college town. But the support is absolutely unreal. You always have community members on campus, maybe walking around, saying hi at athletic events. And then a lot of our students like to go into town and get a bite to eat or get some ice cream and really show that support. We have over 150 different undergraduate programs to choose from, all within 4 different academic colleges. We have our College of Health, Engineering, and Science, College of Education, College of Business, and our College of Liberal Arts. So lots of different opportunities in different majors, as well as over 40 different graduate programs like athletic training, occupational therapy, physical therapy, physician's assistant, counseling and higher education, and so forth. So tons of different opportunities to have. And no matter what program you're in, no matter what major you're in, all of our programs are taught by professors. There are no teaching assistants or graduate assistants on campus. So you're always going to learn from someone that's also had that experience out in the working force. 92% of our faculty do have PhDs or terminal degrees. So that was always one of my favorite parts because I could always ask about their experiences that they had and really provide that hands-on learning opportunity. One of my favorite ways of being involved on campus is getting involved in different student organizations. Getting your education is important, but I think getting your experience and involvement outside the classroom is just as important. We have over 160 student organizations, anything from academic organizations to athletic organizations to student government to video games to maybe a book club. You name it, it's here. And if it's not here, it's very easy to create your own organization. And all of these organizations provide great leadership opportunities because they're all student ran. So if you wanted to be part of the executive board, maybe become the president of one of these organizations, that's something that you could do while you're during your time here at Slippery Rock. There's lots of opportunities to study abroad. One of my favorite ways of studying abroad is doing the 10-day spring break study abroad experience. It's the 10 days over spring break and they're faculty led. So when I was a student, I got to do 2 of those trips. We went to Barcelona one year and I went to Peru another. So it's all about that cultural and educational experience. We are an NCAA Division II university in athletics. We have over 17 varsity sports with 41 club sports and hundreds of different intramural teams. So if you're into athletics and want to still stay connected, there's lots of ways to do so. We have a wonderful honors college on campus. If you'd like to be part of that, it is a separate application, so making sure you do apply to that on top of applying to Slippery Rock, as well as Greek life and community service present. We do require all of our first year students to live on campus, and our students within the first year have 2 different residential style options. We have our suite style as well as our traditional style. There are 3 major differences between these 2 styles. Your first major difference is going to be cost. A traditional style dorm is about $3,000 less per year than a suite style dorm. Your next difference is going to be the setup of the bathroom. A traditional style dorm is a little bit more sharing and caring, so that restroom is shared with those on that floor and somebody else does come in and clean it. Where your suite style room, the bathroom is in the room in itself, where you and your roommate are only the ones sharing it and now responsible for taking care of its upkeep. And then the final differences between these 2 are what we call a living learning community, or an LLC for short. And if you'd like to live within your college, like if you're an education major and you want to live with other students within education, that would be living in what we call your LLCs, but they're only housed in suite style living. Freshmen can have cars on campus. It is $25 for the year for a parking pass. This is a cost of attendance chart, and this cost of attendance is per year. When you are looking at that bottom total cost, please keeping in mind that your total depends whether you're in your residential suites or in that traditional hall. Some quick notes is your tuition fees is a flat rate, no matter whether you're taking 12 or 18 credits, and an average student does take 15 credits per semester. And then every student starts off with a base meal plan of 14 meals a week and $350 of flex for your dining. Your next steps, if you haven't already, or if you are a junior, your next steps are going to be applying to Slippery Rock. Juniors do have to wait until their senior year, but it's an online application with a $30 application fee and an official high school transcript. We are test optional from this point forward. We do offer financial aid and scholarships, as well as making sure your FAFSA is completed. And then this is our general contact information, and I will put my information in the chat as well. Thank you so much for being here.
Chelsea, and I'm with Soka University of America, and I'm very happy to share with you today about our special school.
I'm sorry, Chelsea, it is really difficult for us to hear you.
Sorry. Is that better? Is that better?
Slightly?
Slightly? Okay. I am so sorry. My name is Chelsea. I'm with Soka University of America, and I am happy to be able to present with you all today about our institution. So Soka University, we are a small private liberal arts college in Southern California in the town of Aliso Viejo. This is our campus. We're about 100 acres, and we are 3 miles inland of Laguna Beach in the Pacific Ocean. Our mission of Soka University of America is to foster a steady stream of global citizens committed to living a contributive life. This was given to us by our founder in 2001. The word Soka is a Japanese translation of the concept value creation. So by being a Soka student, you're creating value with your life towards being a global citizen who is contributive. Key facts about the institution. Our actual community is Aliso Viejo, California. Soka is rather small. We have 450 students, so it's a very tight-knit community. And among our student body, 40% are international, coming from 30 different countries. We are a 100% residential campus, so students live in Aliso Viejo all 4 years in one of our residence halls. We offer a single major. It's the BA in Liberal Arts, but we have 5 concentrations of study where Soka students can focus in on their particular interests. We have a study abroad requirement. We also require students to do a senior capstone research project, which makes them very strong for graduate school study. Our student to faculty ratio is 7:1, and our average class size is 12. So we use discussion dialogue-based learning and Socratic seminars. We compete in NEA athletics, and we have merit and need-based financial aid. This is a picture of our newest building that will open this fall, our Miriam Curie Science Hall. Soka is non-sectarian, so we do not teach any specific religious classes or have students of any religious faith. That said, we are founded on the Buddhist principles of peace, human rights, and the sanctity of life, and we focus on studying comparative education across Eastern and Western philosophies. One of our unique program requirements is our study abroad in language. All students will take a non-native language while at Soka of Spanish, Japanese, French, or Mandarin Chinese, and then will spend half of their junior year studying abroad in a country that speaks that language. We have program providers in nation, which help students, get accustomed to their host family or local roommate or move into their apartment while they are studying abroad for those 6 months. And students are enrolled in a full course selection in that language that will transfer back towards their Soka diploma. Because it is a graduation requirement, it is built into tuition, so Soka makes up the difference for flight, visa, the application, and vaccines. And for undocumented students or for students who cannot safely leave the country, we have a domestic alternative, but they will still be doing a full semester of their non-target language. These are our 5 concentrations of study: environmental studies, humanities, international studies, life sciences, and social behavioral sciences. Students have until the end of their 2nd year to declare their concentration. And the way that the concentrations work, they're not preset, so students have full autonomy in deciding which combination to create their concentration. In terms of student life, this is a picture of one of our rooms. All of our students share a room with a roommate, but they always have their own bathroom. We also make sure that students have access to the Soka shuttle so they can get around if they don't have their own car. Because again, with so many international students, not a lot of folks have cars. We have a full-time mental health counselor and on-site health center, disability services, which does both academic and residential accommodations, career development and internships office, a full meal plan for our students. We have 30 different student-led clubs, 15 different affinity groups, student government, orientation leaders to help our first years adjust, resident assistants to help you when you get locked out, many on-campus employment opportunities, including for international students, service engagement like our alternative spring break, as well as recreation programs and classes through the gym, the Soka Performing Arts Center and Art Gallery, and our Critical Conversation lecture series, which talks about major issues going on around the world. These are some sample programs put on by Residential Life that really focus on celebrating the different identities on campus, self-care, celebrating holidays, community building, as well as life skills. Soka is part of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics through the Cal-PAC division. We compete in men and women's soccer, cross country, track and field, swimming and diving, and women's golf. Most of our students are actively recruited competitive athletes, with several qualifying for national championships, but we do take walk-ons to the point where 1/4 of our student body participates in athletics. Our admission process will open August 1st for this coming fall. Our early action deadline is November 1st. It is non-binding, and our regular decision deadline is January 15th. Soka requires an application. We are a Common App school, application fee or fee waiver, official transcripts, an English proficiency result for students who have not completed school in the US, 2 letters of recommendation, 2 mandatory essays, a list of extracurricular activities. We are test optional. Soka practices holistic review, so we do not have minimum GPAs or minimum requirements. In terms of financial aid, our tuition is about $32,000 a year, and our room and board is $13,000 for all students, international, out-of-state, in-state, undocumented. Soka offers need-based aid as well as merit-based financial aid. For families who earn under $60,000 US, Soka will cover the full cost of tuition. For families making more than that, it is a sliding scale. We offer merit scholarship from $5,000 to $13,000 a year. Whatever you get your first year, you will continue getting throughout your time at Soka, and you can qualify for or apply for additional merit scholarship as a continuing student. Athletic scholarships are determined directly by the coaches. We participate in the federal loan program, but we also have the Soka loan program for families who do not qualify. And we take any federal or state funding. So last year, 98% of our students received financial aid, and we awarded close to $14 million to our 450 students. We're an office of 6. There are 4 domestic counselors and 2 international counselors. I am assigned to help the students from Pennsylvania. So thank you so much for learning about Soka University of America.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeannie Lacana Bottle, and I'm the Pennsylvania admissions representative for University of Florida. I'm excited to share a little bit about UF with y'all, so let's dive right in. We are ranked number 6 for top public universities in the nation. UF is located in North Central Florida, right where you see that star. We are about 2 hours away from Orlando and Disney, and we're about an hour and a half away from the beach and also Jacksonville. We do have our own airport, which is about 10 to 15 minutes away from campus, and our downtown area is about 10 to 15 minutes walking. And there's lots of local restaurants, and we have farmer markets and live music all day or all throughout the week. Gainesville is very much our college town, and our students love it. We have one of the highest freshman retention rates in the country at 97%. We have around 55,000 students on our campus, and about 37,000 students are undergrad. 16% of our students are coming from all states and 131 countries, making us one of the 5 largest universities in the nation. And a good chunk of our students are coming from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Long Island, so there is still a strong Northeast presence on campus. Here you are able to see what our middle 50% looks like in regard to test scores and GPA. Just keep in mind that we are still requiring test scores, so when it comes to applying, make sure you do have test scores. With having such a large campus, this means that we give you the big campus feel with a small classroom. We have a student to faculty ratio of 17:1, so there is no reason for you to feel like a small gator in a big pond. There are many ways for you to carve out your place for yourself at UF, so let's talk a little bit about the academics. So we do have over 120 different majors for students to explore, and we have pre-health tracks, over 15 engineering programs, architecture, journalism, and agriculture, just to name a few. We don't admit by major, so the major that you do put on your application in no way locks you into that. And about 65% of our students do change their major while at UF. We recently just added artificial intelligence, making us the largest and fastest supercomputer in higher education. And we will be doing research in cybersecurity, healthcare, and agriculture, just to name a few. Talking about research, last year we had over $900 million worth of funding for research, and our Center for Undergraduate Research does help students find those projects that align with their goals and interests. My favorite fun fact to mention about research is in 1965, a little sports drink you may have heard of called Gatorade was invented on our campus to serve athletes. And we do serve free Gatorade in a few different spots. We do have an award-winning career center, which helps you with anything and everything, such as writing your resume, interview prep, but taking headshots. And we do have one of the largest career fairs in the Southeast that draws employers of all shapes and sizes, from not just the state of Florida, but also nationally and internationally. So what is there to do outside of the classroom, you're wondering? UF is ranked within the top 20 for sending our students abroad, with over 4,000 Gators each year, and any major can do it. We have a vibrant and active student life, over 2,000 events happening on campus each year, such as guest lecturers, such as Bill Nye the Science Guy, Stephen King, Pitbull. We have over 1,000 clubs and student organizations. So if you want to live out your Harry Potter dream, we have the Quidditch Club, a roller coaster design, skydiving, but also the professional and academic focus clubs. There are over 2,700 teams for clubs and intramural sports. So if you are active now, you could still be active at UF. One of my favorite memories is our club sports do travel to the Northeast, and I was able to see the women's lacrosse team play against Temple a few years ago. Speaking about sports, we are Division I and a part of the SEC. Homecoming weekend is a really big event on campus, and that Friday we cancel classes, and during the day we have a parade, and then at nighttime we have what is called the Gator Growl, which is the largest student-run pep rally in the nation, with musical guests such as Passion Pit, Chase Rice, and Ty Dolla $ign, just to name a few. If you love the outdoors, Lake Walbury is going to be the place for you. You can canoe and kayak or learn how to. We do have outdoor climbing wall and bouldering, and there are trails for mountain biking, but also sand courts for volleyball. If you are interested in UF calling UF home too, we are both on the Common and the Coalition application, and our deadline is November 1st. And as I said previously, we are still requiring test scores. And here is the information for myself, but also UF. We do offer virtual sessions and a virtual tour, and this is my information. Our campus is open, so you are able to visit, and if you would like to, download an app, and it is a self-guided tour. Thank you, and go Gators.
Thank you so much. So with that said, that concludes the presentation portion of our session today. But I would like to invite all of our panelists to return. Feel free to turn your cameras back on. And I am going to pose a question to the group. So our attendees, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in that Q&A section. So our first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Again, feel free to respond in the order in which you presented.
Yeah, I'd love to share first on this one. My biggest piece of advice for a student going through the college search process is to make sure that you have fun, because it is meant to be a fun process, going through all these info sessions and doing your campus tours and things, but also make sure that it is yours, and just because your best friend is applying to X school doesn't mean that it's going to be a great fit for you and that you should apply, because those applications cost money, and you want to make sure that it's a good fit based on your own interests and your own needs, really, when it comes to what you're looking for. So make sure that you really do own this process and have fun with it.
Following up on that, obviously there's so much to kind of research when you're owning that and figuring out what fits best for you, that you should probably get to know your admission counselor. That's kind of why we're all here, right, guys? I know that it's a lot, and you get so many emails and so many text messages and so many phone calls. We get it, but we're real people. We want to get to know you. That's why we do these things, so you get to go, okay, that's my admissions counselor, that's my person. But reach out to us, ask us questions. It's literally our job is at the very foundation, is to counsel you through this process. So get to know us, because we have all of that information that Allie just mentioned, and we want to share that with you so that you can start to kind of solidify and get a little bit more precise with what schools you're going to be calling home for, not necessarily the next 4 years, but just forever.
Some great advice from Allie and Doug. And just to follow up on their input, I would also say take the time to visit a college if you're interested. As Allie mentioned, finding how you fit inside the college or university you choose to attend. There is no better way than actually taking the time to go in and visiting the college, speaking with some of their current students. So it's also your admission counselor. That way you can find out all the resources that they offer, which may pertain to your interests.
Wow, such great advice so far from everybody. I think to add on to that would also be studying what you love. Don't study something because someone pressures you to study it, but while you're doing your search process, really determine what your best major might be for you. Study something that you're going to enjoy and that you want to get up and go to class every day. That will also help determine where your best fit might be for you as well.
So far, I think what I would add would be that regardless of where you go to college, it's going to be your experience. So even if it's not your dream school that you end up at, you can still make it such a positive experience as long as you have the right mindset that this is going to be your home for the next 4 years, hopefully.
And then I would just add, use the application process as a way for us to get to know you as a person and how we can benefit from having you on our campus. We talk to a lot of people, so sometimes we can't always remember names, but really make sure you explain what you're doing outside of the classroom so then we can really get to know who you are and see the big picture.
Great advice from the group. Thank you all for sharing. With that said, that concludes our virtual college fair for today. But I do have a few closing announcements. So as you exit from this Zoom session, a survey will appear. It's approximately 4 questions or so, but please complete the survey. It is extremely helpful as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings. Also want to remind you to sign up for additional sessions by visiting our registration site. And finally, a recording will be made available within about a week or so. With that said, I want to thank our amazing panelists for joining us, but also thank you to all of our attendees. And I hope everyone has a great evening. Bye.